I'm gonna come back again to this on
We gotta begin every fucking part with a Vishnu, man.
Vision just on my loading screen.
Vishnu says, fuck you. Alright.
Ironically enough, I don't think I saw Vision in this playthrough.
You don't?
No.
Does Vishnu ever make an appearance anywhere else?
Yeah, see, we see him later on in the games. Sorry.
It's like for a second there, I was almost completely assimilated by Vishnu. So, we're off.
Go to the police station.
We're off to the police station. Okay.
After our save.
Do the backlot entrance.
By the way, can you imagine Demon Court?
Demon court?
Yeah.
Like people's court with demons?
Yeah. Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne brings an idea of it, which is a nice way of saying, fight this demon, whoever loses gets eaten. It sounds like a relatively fair shot of getting out of there until you realize your third round is Thor. Yeah,
And
Thor.
you're wiped out from the other two battles. It's not a fair fight. Just Thor. Wait, so
Thor.
two demons fighting each other to the death, and the other one gets eaten? Is that like
The loser gets eaten.
the loser gets eaten? Is that like when you're facing the death penalty or something?
No, that's just their way of doing
That's
it.
just a way of doing things.
Or at least that's according to the mantra of demons.
Hey Jeff, hey Bob, bow to the death Saturday. You know it.
Bob do Orthros. Seriously, that was only like the mantra demons. That may not really be what Demon Court is. Today's enemy is
Cement.
geezers.
Oh well, we fought these guys earlier, so that must mean
I'm going for their spell cards. Asshole! Oops.
stupid. Stop being stupid.
He actually, in the PSP version, he actually just like condescends to them like, you're just fuck you.
I spit on you. I spit on you.
America.
You just lick your fingers and put out his candle. Butthead. Oh yeah, this is America, alright.
America. Now we get him interested after nearly pissing him off and making him happy at the same time. You are a dead meat.
I just like what some demon follow sticks and stones.
By the way, she just called this a dead meat.
Call us a dead meat, not a dead meat.
Translation was pretty bad here. In fact, I'm pretty sure we see a few your fuck ups. Anyway, this geezer must have used with a fine girl. Creepy. Somebody call us the 4chan party, man.
Mary is now convulsing.
No, she's shuddering.
She's in a fetal position.
It's also one of her contact operations.
What?
Shuddering. Anyway, now we finally made it back to the Mikage police station.
See how Mark's doing, if he's okay at all.
Oh! He's fine. Maki here has never seen a police station.
Holy shit, this tile's flaky.
Anyway, we gotta find the cell key. One of the few times in the game that ever had you fucking look for something. Hey, you. I was looking for it. You know, I like your attitude, Nate.
It's like your butler died or something.
Anyway, we gotta look long and hard for the cell key. Maybe it's in this box called key.
Fuck, man. That's why he hesitates to drink. When I'm in the middle of this shit, I almost spat that shit out of my nose. And that would have been hard. That would have been painful too. It's hot coffee, man.
Hot coffee would burn the fucking
Actually, it's not as painful as soda. Carbonated soda going right to the nose. That shit hurts. Burns right off. Burns off all the nose hairs.
I like this game at the police station. Meanwhile, I head about narcolepsy and suddenly demons. Who are we fighting today? Cool zombie cops and Carries. Carrie likes to boost up their defenses, so try to kill their fuckers off first if you can. Zombie cops are, well, zombies. They can actually shoot guns in single shot and use power nail to paralyze you, but they're no threat anyway because of the And that monster on the far left, the thing Mary killed earlier, is a ghoul, another Jirai class monster, which means they're weak to wind, prey, and axes.
So, is it safe to assume that every time you run into like a human in any sort of base of operation, you can fight zombie versions of them?
No, he's straight.
Okay, so all the police are gone, and then Suddenly we got police zombies.
Yeah. But later on in the game, they kind of start stretching what a zombie really is. Wait till we see the level 41 painter monsters. Zombies. Oh, darn it.
So wait, that the green thing is Carrie? Carrie.
It's technically a Kusith, which is an Irish demon of some sort. Again, I don't know how they were fans to tell you more about it. But basically, what they like to do, as I told you earlier, they love to boost their defenses up and use fuck yeah!
God damn.
That's because I boosted up the gun's attack power by boosting up my technique.
It's fucking Merc.
Ow, ow.
Your two-step, Matt?
Yeah, I started slamming day 10 into the wall. Come on, Nate. Sukukaja, Sukukaja, Sukukaja. Oh, oh, oh.
What is that? Ludervale's high school anthem?
I could be the Shimigami Tensei anthem. That could be the I remember my Nocturne anthem. Oh, holy fuck breath. Blow the accuracy of this shit. Something like that. Sharktooth, Agathian, and Firebird.
Magic pots. No,
Yeah.
they're magic pots, Matt.
Their true name is Agathian. I can never remember what the Sharktooth is. The Firebird's name is technically Ba.
Bah.
B-A.
Bah. I shit on that name.
Anyway, the Agathian is our first Yoma class demon. Think a monster with some degree of black magic, but ultimately likes to use a combination of black magic and physical attacks. They're really good at Emperor fusions, so grab yourself an Agathian if you want to pick up an Emperor or Magician class persona. I'm not going to be too in-depth with what cards go best at what fusions because I can never fully remember it.
Well, you've been talking about the process of combining stuff to make certain personas, and we're finally going to get into that with this part, I believe. We go to the Velvet Room.
Anyway, one thing about the Yoma monsters, try not to hit them with their magic that they like to shoot at you. For example, if one of them uses something like fire magic, don't hit it with fire magic, it goes back at you.
If a fire demon attacks you with fire, don't use fire back.
Yeah, it's particularly painful there. Burn monsters are weak to guns.
Fuck you.
Yeah, basically. We pretty much go Dick Cheney on. Anyway,
Not the face!
the burn monsters are proficient in wind magic, and they generally have a higher agility. They generally have a pretty good agility stat.
That's pretty standard. I feel like the birds are all wind based and shit like that. Well, no, I would probably not correct to assume that all birds are wind based.
Yeah, we meet awesome people later on. They love to spam fire magic. Anyway, but by and large, bird demons are no threat. What am I doing? Look at that. There's the stairs.
Stubbed your toe.
Stairs.
You stubbed your toe, Matt. Why do you have to sidestep everywhere?
It's exactly. You interrupted my song and dance, you fucker.
You will pay with your soul.
It gave me actually a pretty good card early on. I used it to get the pawn persona or arrogant pawn. Fuck.
Who says I'm human?
Anyway, Maki here is technically lying. Here the contract is called waste time. Damn! The women problems in 4 words. Shut up, shut up, I can't believe you don't shut up!
Oh, you loud bitch! Here, take it and go away.
Can you imagine something like this being a white beater?
So wait, what are you using? You're wasting this guy's time, which interests him.
I just fucking yelled at him.
Oh, do it again.
Dude,
This is going nowhere, and I like it.
Dude, wait till we get to the yogurt. Big hulking fucking monster. I yell at it and it gets interested. Fuck you!
It's a masochist. An audio masochist.
Oral.
Say what?
A-U-R-A-L. You hear it?
A-U-R-L.
Oral. A-U-R-A-L.
Oral.
What am I doing here? Ah, I'm at level 12. Good.
It's like someone trying to say Earl with his mouth full.
I'm Vishnu. Welcome to gym.
What's he doing here?
This is a Hideki-ku's theme. Or Brad's theme. By the way, throughout the rest of your game in Persona 1, they call him Brown.
Who?
Him.
Brad?
Yeah.
Why?
He shit his pants in middle school and he's been using, and rather than just being utterly ashamed by it, he ran jokes off of it. So basically, he plays himself as a joke
self-deprecation only gets you so far, dude. You still shat your pants.
You don't seem to think so. Anyway, we don't take Brad with us for our party member, but I'll tell you what he does now. Brad's Arcana is Justice. Before you think Batman, no.
No, I was actually...
Justice Arcana are high-speed persona, with focusing usually on the sound wave attacks like Zan, Mazan, shit like that. By and large, though, Brad himself... I call him Emperor Brad. Oops. Brad himself, he fights with spears, which are super effective against Angel and Fallen monsters.
Yeah.
And Uzis, much like my main character does. What makes Brad really potent, though, is that a lot of his weapons are weak, but they hit multiple times. So if you give him something like an Emperor persona, which is really high on the strength stat, you can watch the numbers rack up, man. Anyway, Mark can't believe Mary's here. Believe it or not, Brad's actually not a bad negotiator either. I thought he was terrible when I first used him, but on one of my more recent playthroughs of Shin Megami, the PSP version, Brad actually came through more often than not.
Who locked these guys up? Oh.
Baldy McNosehair.
Okay, well, let's see what this asshole's deal with. His name is Captain.
He's the captain.
He's the captain. No, that's his first name, Captain.
Captain Oda.
Captain Oda. We need you.
Anyway, he generally likes to arrest Mark for whenever he goes around tagging areas. Because like Mark usually is a juvenile because he likes to spray paint everything, but he's not like really that bad.
He's
despite
a
him.
Huh? A misfit.
Yeah. Well, a misfit with an axe is still pretty dangerous.
But a misfit nonetheless.
Anyway, these guys actually in the PSP version, you don't notice it yourself, but Kay notices there's a very foul scent coming from them.
Did he shit himself too?
No, they're all dead. No, the gremlin killed the bald guy and hid inside his body and wore him like a suit. Meanwhile, one zombie cops.
That's morbid.
and the zombie cops came in as reinforcements.
Wait, so the yellow dude was the captain?
Yeah.
Yellow bastard.
And we get a spell card later.
We get his spell card later?
Yeah, he's a gremlin.
Does he become a mook?
Yeah.
Oh.
He ain't shit, though. Oh! I like this one particular scene here. The gremlin completely reacts to what your characters do, and that's a great touch.
I was just about to comment on that. He's reacting until you're destroying his defenses.
Yeah, and I think that's a really nice touch here. And he's scared, too. He's like, shit!
He's gonna shit himself and call himself Brown.
No, that's Brown. Oh, fuck!
He shits himself and then makes fun of himself. The art of self-defecation.
Defecation.
Yeah.
he self-defecation by defecating. But seriously though, like, it ended up working in his favor, so to speak, because he ends up making up like a whole bunch of lies and bullshit about himself, just so that, you know, he could draw attention away from his weakness.
Yeah.
Brad is kind of an asshole whenever he talks, so at some points in the game, because he generally makes himself to be the hero that he's really not, and as a result ends up making himself kick back while you do all the work. Of course, that doesn't apply in gameplay. I make him fucking work. So
Brad just had an awakening.
Yeah, and I gotta level up. Thanks, Brad. Unlike a lot of other... I know that strength is by and large usually a dumb stat, but I don't completely neglect it in my games. If anything, I tend to neglect luck.
What's with the other stats there? I saw Ump, Dodd.
Ump is offensive magic power.
Okay.
That's how much damage your persona deals. Demp is defensive magic power. How much magical damage you take. That, of course, gets altered by what your persona's weak to and shit like that. Def is defense. Dodd is dodge. Any other stats?
Evasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other stats?
Off the top of my head, no. Wait until the next level up.
Anyway, Brad's ego swells to the point of no return.
So,
how would I rate him in terms of a party member? Pretty goddamn good, actually.
Well, I was actually more talking, I was going to get a personality. He's the wise ass.
He's the jackass.
The jackass, okay, there's a difference.
It pretty much goes with your optional characters. Jackass, Eriko, Ditz, Asshole. And by that I mean, on my normal playthroughs of the game, I almost always take Ellen. I just show off Reiji for this playthrough for the sake of it, because Reiji himself is actually a fantastic member.
Yeah.
And in the PSP version, in this version of the game,
he's more quiet and contemplative, but while still being a bit antagonistic. Reiji in Persona 1 PSP can be a mixture of outright ass. A mixture of outright ass, that's one thing. Okay. Once again, the game tries to pretend it has formation politics, it really doesn't. There you go. And that's all we need. And we equip Mark with the maximum, that's his shotgun. I remove his bullets. And I also remove Mary's.
So everyone can have a blunt weapon, a projectile weapon.
Everybody has a different... Oh, yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. Each of their physical weapons actually have an attribute of their own.
Like
Axe, glove, whip, bow, sword, and spear.
So it's like a rock, paper, scissors sort of thing?
Not necessarily a rock, paper, scissors sort of thing, but if an enemy is weak to a particular type of physical attack and your characters have it, then you can do extra damage on that enemy. For example, in a bit of tasteless humor, much like Christ himself, the angel monsters are weak to spears.
Oh, Christ.
The Jirai are weak to axes. The angels also hate Uzi automatics. Not shotguns, Uzi automatics.
Uzi automatics.
They're very specific.
They can't be asked to reload, Matt.
Shit like that. They don't tell you in this game, though, and that's one thing the PSP version will always have over the PSX version is the much better interface.
Yeah, this definitely, in terms of interface, it screams 96.
Yeah, it was built on Windows.
Yeah. It was built on Ubuntu.
Ubuntu?
Ubuntu. I'm going to learn Ubuntu. So how are we going to get this guy's spell card?
That's crazy! Oh, Mark, you lied to me. Now, between these four characters, it's theoretically possible to get every single spell card in the game with the exception of one, where it's damn near required to have Chris in the party. By and large, that may miss more than hit.
Are you going to get it for this playthrough?
That's pissing in the fucking wind, dude.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna try because.
Well, yeah, it's better to try than to just say fuck it.
Yeah, because it's the hardest spell card in the game to fucking get.
Really?
It really is, because anything else you try to do on her just pisses her off. Fans of the game know I'm talking about the Kuchisaki-on, or in this game, lips.
Gucci Gucci.
Coochie coochie on the Kuchisaki. What the fuck? Fastest way to get your fingers eaten, dude.
No.
Unless you give her a coochie on the coochie.
Then she's fucking furious.
Oh, yeah. But that's just it, though. Almost any sort of contact you make with her, by and large, you're going to piss her off. Reiji has one option that always gets every demon happy, but with her, sometimes you might get interest, which is what you're going to want.
Just a quick question. Since we won't be showing off the Snowhead. Snowhead, was it?
Snow Queen Quest?
Sorry, I think Snowhead. Majora's Mask.
They're nothing alike, dude.
But does Persona 1 in itself have like any optional shit? Bosses, anything like that?
There are optional bosses. If you fight them, you get the bad ending.
What?
Yeah. There are two optional bosses.
Without spoiling anything, why?
Because the times when you fight the optional bosses, well, actually one optional boss. The other optional boss screws you out of getting your ultimate persona. One is because you screw up and scare her off from helping you out, which is what you really need at the end game. And the other is because, well, it just goes to show it's a test of character, much like saving the woman in the hospital. It's one of those things.
I see.
Why do you kids keep coming to me?
Stop calling us your children.
I know. The last thing I want to imagine is my character's father is a tree.
I'm part oak.
What if the tree... By the way, there's actually a third secret boss. If you actually happen to burn this tree enough, it turns into X-Death. What if that was X-Death?
Come out of that hiding spot. I know it's you.
Where am I going first? Sun Mall or the subway? I just played the game and I don't remember. Oh, I'm going to the subway first.
They're going to the restaurant or the actual subway. You're hungry now? Can it wait?
Huh? Who's this red guy? You actually have to go out of your way to reject each of the other party members. Because if you don't, Elena forces herself into your party.
She forces herself?
Yeah. You tell her to go piss off. She's like, no, I'm going with you whether you like it or not.
No, don't want to do that. No.
Why do you sound like me when I'm playing Amnesia: The Dark Descent?
Put on a vulture accent?
Yeah. All right, let's see what's in this room. No.
Don't want to go to hell. Don't want to do that. No.
Anyway, here's where you can find Ellen. Whenever I don't take Chris, I take her along. She's really one of the best members in the game. She focuses on every stat except technique. I mean, not technique, vitality.
So she's jack of all trades.
Sort of, but her initial arcanum is judgment. Judgment persona fucking rock, for the most part. They are immune to all magic except evil dark. Plus they learn quite a few beautiful spells. Ellen's ultimate persona is Saint Michael. A hell of a kick-ass persona. He reflects magic. He's only weak to spear attacks, but since physical attacks in this game won't kill you, oh well.
Oh, damn it.
I also meant to say this earlier, but Brad, his ultimate persona is Tyr. Which is basically looks like a really big blue fucking superhero. Unless you're going to power level in this game and get to level 94, he's the only means you have of learning the ability Binal Strike. It kills Brad, but it deals upwards of fucking thousands of damages to all enemies.
It's like a self-destruct attack.
It's a self-destruct attack that fucking wrecks shit. Brad became brown piece shit wrecker. Now I've done that, I think I'm gonna go fuse. When I stop looking at the map. Come on, Matt, where's the fucking mall? Where are you going, Matt?
This compass is busted.
Where am I going at this point?
Weast.
Weast? What the fuck compass are you reading? Oh, now I remember where I'm going. I'm gonna go head back to the school first, see what's going on over there.
Anything worth going back to the school?
Just to show something off.
The fuck?
The tall, lanky ones are brute monsters. They're weak to any magic and they die instantly. I already told you what the Fruman do. The brute monsters there have an attack in this game called React, which is a nice way of saying that they'll blow themselves up and take one of your members with you.
No.
But if you let them do that, you suck at this game.
Mark is a maniac. Maniac. And that's for sure.
Well, given what he's doing, I think he's dancing like he never danced before. Although we'll have to take his word for it that he's dancing. And now we give him a special quarter. Heads and tails are reversed.
I'll give you this quarter. Its value is 25 cents.
You may not know this, but in Abu Dhabi, that's $6,000. Now that we got the Newt Demon Monster, let's see what we can get out of here.
So certain monsters, depending on what attribute you raise enough, will... Alright, so with some monsters you have to raise interest, while some monsters you have to raise joy.
No, every one of them is interest.
Every single one of them.
Every one of them is interest for a spell card. If you get joy with interest, they'll give you something. They'll give you a little bonus in addition to the prize.
So it's all a matter of whether or not you can get them simultaneously to peak at the same time.
Right. You can only have 2 peak though. So be careful if your negotiation goes completely foobar. Now where am I going?
Can you get angry interest?
Oh, I get that a lot. You know, I like the cut of your jib, but your fucking face makes me want to punch you.
I hate your fucking face.
Anyway.
Spell card, go away.
It's time we go to the Velvet Room.
The Velvet Room, alright. So what is this? Because I'm actually talking a little bit in a meta sense here. You went into the Velvet Room 2 times. One, because I'm guessing you wanted to make sure what you were...
One, because I fucked up my fusion.
Yeah, I edited that out because I saw the reset. I was like, wait, he reset it. What did I gotta look for?
Here's the thing. You see the arrows?
Yeah.
What you always want is either an arrow... You always want either an arrow fusion, or a blue fusion, or a blue arrow fusion. If you have to get a white arrow fusion, you want to throw bullets into the mixture as well, to increase the attack power. If you perform a blue fusion, you gain an additional magic boost in your power by 20 points.
Yeah.
Which really does make or break a difference in the persona. If you make a persona, let me think. If you make a persona and the arrow is going up or down, if the persona arrow is going up, your persona will gain 1 point in each stat, and it'll learn a move according to the second monster in the fusion. For example, let's say for this for example, it will probably gain something from the Muscat spells, which would be accuracy up, barring inheritance rules. If it arrows going down, it would be the second monster's. It would gain a spell from the second monster going into the fusion, but all stats would go down -1. But in this game, the Persona stats, except for offensive magic power, don't matter.
So, would you compare making personas like breeding in Pokemon?
No. More like 2+2 stuff here. You don't breed. It's not like breeding per se, but more like it's more like thinking about what goes into the fusion per se, and getting the most out of your fusion while you can. Because unlike other Shin Megami Tensei titles, you can actually make do with these Persona for quite a while, depending upon what you do or how well your playstyle is.
So fusing spell cards, the resulting Persona will have attributes of both creatures.
No, it'll have its own attributes.
Okay.
What it's gonna have is it can learn spells from the cards that go into the fusion.
Yeah.
Depending on what order you put them in, and inheritance rules. Inheritance rules are basically a Persona can't learn something that goes against its own elemental attributes. For example, if I have a Holy Light Persona, I can't give it Dark Magic. It will never learn it no matter what I do with it. It'll go to the next spell down that it can try to learn. Now, there's a limitation to this, however. Like I said with Inheritance, it can learn things like special skills like Shu Raigeki, San Raigeki, shit like that. They can't learn. But other than that, like, whatever the Persona's base attribute is, if it can learn something from the monster going into the fusion, it'll learn it at rank 2, which really helps get more versatility out of each Persona.
What is the Alright, so you were describing the arrows, the up arrows, the down arrows, the blue and red arrows. What's the X's and circles?
The X means you can't fuse it. The circle means you can fuse it, but like I said, the color rules apply.
Yeah.
If you get blue, plus 20 points to your plus 20 offensive magic points to the Persona in question. If you get white, it just goes through normally. Red is there's a high chance for a fusion accident, which some players may or may not want to trigger if they want to get full Persona. Full Persona are very rare Persona in this game because they can only be made through fusion accident. The odds of them happening are real fucking low. We're talking maybe...
Say accident?
Yeah, fusion accident. Sometimes when you fuse the
Sorry,
cards...
I made a really powerful abomination.
Basically, what happens is sometimes the fusion doesn't go through as well as you think it will. And as a result of that, you can end up... Oh, damn it. We'll talk about it next part.
This sounds like really intricate shit.
It's more intricate than it really is. I'll go into it next part, guys. I'll see you then.